questão dos
How
nomes
was the
em
process
inglês?
of deciding the names of the characters in English? That's the
Yeah,
question.
I have a rule where, you know, this, I've done this with every book I've ever translated. I think if the character has a name and it's a proper name in Portuguese, I leave it alone. I mean, I'm never going to turn a Ricardo into a Richard in the translation. But if the character has a nickname, and nicknames, I mean, Brazilians are consummate nicknamers. Everybody has nicknames, and those nicknames are really colorful. And quite often they'll tell you something about the character. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they're just associated with a one-off thing that happened, and then everybody started calling them that name from that point on. But those nicknames have meaning. And I figure if I were to leave those alone and not translate them, then the reader's just going to skip over them as if they're just foreign names. So I make a point of translating them. And then, you know, it's a case of just brainstorming until you find the one that fits, not making something up out of nowhere, but, you know, trying to find something as close to the original that will have the same sort of flavor and impact as the original.
I was also wondering, because you've got a short glossary, very short, very modest glossary at the end of the book, because that's the thing about literary translation, isn't it? It's not an academic work unless it's an annotated classic. You would put footnotes and things like that. So did you have to, how did you make this decision of leaving words in italics, or did you know at the beginning that you're going to have a little glossary? Was it something that the publishers, your editor, required?
No, I don't think I ever had that conversation with the publishers. I'm just looking at it now to remind myself. There's just Orixá, Exu, Pombagira, and Terreiro. You know, because these are all associated with Candomblé and Umbanda, which are, you know, basically Brazilian religions, but have their origins in Yoruban traditions in Africa. And they have gone elsewhere in the world too. You have Santeria and voodoo in other places. And I felt that those terms were going to be used frequently enough that it was better to introduce them and have a little glossary at the beginning rather than have to explain them. And my other sort of rule of thumb at the time, and of course I'd have to reread it to see if I was really true to this, but if I could find the word in a dictionary, it was not going to go in italics. So I don't think cachaça is in italics because, you know, people the world over have discovered that cachaça is amazing and it's out there.